All right, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. Uh, let's start with the basics. How do I look and how does it sound? So, again, appreciate you guys joining me tonight. I know that I think Great Man has an interview tonight, but sorry for stepping on him. But this is one of my free days off this week, and I think I have Friday night off. I think I'm not even sure yet. So I have to squeeze these live stream in where I can. 5x5 looks good. Scary backdrop. Yes, my brother bought me this backdrop, so uh, I like it. But I think I'm gonna reserve it for like next month. I guess October. You know how that goes. Halloweenish backdrop. Let me fix a couple things on here. Computer screen looks dark. Anyway, so let's get right into it, guys. Today's subjects we're going to talk about Hurricane Henri, but the pretentious pricks in the weather industry call it a Henri or Henri, whatever the fuck it is. Relocation camps and bug out gear. Sorry about that. Oof, I was drawing a blank. So we'll see what we'll see what we get to, because the first couple of first, but the second subject, relocation camps, might be a while because once we jump on it, it's like hard to get off of it. And then we're going to talk about bug out gear and when to upgrade. So I think I'm going to start adding more prepper related, uh, I guess, subjects to each live stream. So we'll talk about whatever's going on in the world, which is a million things. And then we're going to add a prepper subject just to break up the monotony of the bullshit, right? Because how much shit can we actually complain about every day? I mean, guys, we all know where this is going. We know exactly what's going to happen next. I would say in the next 2 months or so. Then between the next 2 months to a year, it's going to be extremely tough for those of us that are not uh, taking the bullshit. So, with that, guys, we can only complain about it so much. Wolf Mule, thank you for the donation, and Rick, thank you for the donation. Right, guys. So, again, why not? Let's talk about something that's probably going to affect us directly, which is prepping. Now, yes, um, the bullshit that's going on is affecting us, but we're going to take a lot of that political shit over to the Angry Truth channel later tonight. So around 10:15, uh, if you guys don't mind, you can head over to the Angry Truth channel, and we're going to pick up there with social credit score system. Starting here, but I'm doing more of an in-depth subject on the Chinese version. The United States version is absolutely starting here. Then we're going to talk about the bribing of criminals and more mandates to come. So that's on the Angry Truth channel later tonight. Again, 10:15 is when it starts. So let's talk about this hurricane. The hurricane, for those of us here in the East Coast, it was pretty much a bust, right? So it they were, not that they were swearing it was going to kill us, but they were dressing this thing up to be the next Sandy. And yet when it hit, it was actually more out to sea than it was inland, and that in turn made it less severe. Amy, thank you for the donation. Right, so again, listen, guys. A lot of us, we got lucky. We got lucky with what was going on. We got lucky with the hurricane being more out to sea than inland, because it would have been bad. I mean, listen, there was not that it was a full moon. I think it was a day after the full moon, but you still had high tide by the time it was hitting. There was a lot of flooding, but it wasn't anything bad. Now I know in Tennessee, I think 18 people are now dead. That's including two twins that were washed away in the flood, ripped out of the father's hands. So the way it read, that the father was trying to make his way through the flood waters as it was coming at him hard or high speed, and it ripped both his twins out of his hands. So he probably fell in that stream, in that flood, and then lost both his kids. So yeah, that sucks, right? and you know, and Tennessee had an abundance amount of flooding. Like I said, there was some flooding here, but nothing in comparison to what was happening in Tennessee. Massachusetts flooded last night. Diane, thank you for the donation. And Diane, did you get that water out? Did you pump the water out? Rather, sorry. So anyway, uh, again, guys, it's always better to be prepared for any kind of weather emergency that's headed our way. Now we know blizzards, tornadoes, hurricanes, they can head our way, and depends on where you live. Cyclones, uh, they can head our way, but it can always shift direction. So that doesn't mean that the rainstorm or the hurricane or the snowstorm is going to head our way all the time. But it's always better for us to be ready for it, right? So obviously, a good heads up is to just be prepared, like we always are. And then, if it hits, it hits, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. Regardless, we were prepared for this. Now, let's get into I would say, the meat and potatoes of this shit. The relocation camps. Now, I know a lot of YouTubers were talking about this the other day, right? So, it was on a couple videos. I think Bear Independent put it up. Angryprepper spoke about it. So, it was out there. You know, people were talking about it. And here's the thing, guys. The way some of it reads, the possibility is there, but I don't see them enacting it anytime soon, unless something bigger happens or a worse variant happens. If you have a worse variant kicking off, then I could see them doing something like that. Now, interestingly enough, today while I was on, I guess, the phone, I saw something that struck me as interesting. They said that scientists are predicting. Thank you, Bruce, for the donation. Are predicting that there's going to be a worse variant coming up in the next couple of years. And interestingly enough, it wasn't the next couple of years. It's next year, and they already labeled it COVID-22. Now, scientists were predicting. They calculated. Predicting and calculated means that they already have it in the barrel, and they're just waiting to fucking let it go. That's all it means, guys. So with that, guys, I think we should be careful. Soshi, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Right. So with that, guys, it's something that we need to pay attention to. If that makes sense, right? So we don't need to look at everything and go, look what they're doing. They're building camps. Keep in mind that the ideology is out there. That the ideology of them building camps and putting either the unvaccinated away or people with high risk health problems away from us and putting them in green zones, right? So we have to keep that in mind that when we read this, guys, it can go either way. Um, so we have to be responsible, is what I'm saying. Be responsible in how you report this and be responsible in looking at both sides of the aisle. So just when it comes to something like this, guys, we can't just go all in and be like relocation camps, they're putting us away, and then that's it. You don't want to do that. You want to look at both sides. You want to see why there might be why is the reason they're coming up with this. Sorry, I'm having such a brain fog today. It's insane. So we have to keep that in mind, guys. We have to keep in mind that this ideology is out there, but we have to be responsible in reporting it. We can't say, Sheldon, man, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. We can't sit there, guys, and go, it's happening and it's for sure. The only thing we could say is, yo, look what they're talking about, which I'm going to go over right now. Right? So now, I did a video back, I guess, earlier this year, back in January maybe. It was called the Assembly Bill A416 Pushback. So this bill was introduced here in New York State. And once the bill was introduced, it was almost immediately there was pushback, and people were like, "This is bullshit. You can't do that. You can't take high risk people with underlying health conditions and put them in a green zone away from us and take them away from our family." Yada yada yada. New York State introduced this bill, like I said earlier this year. It's related to the removal of cases, contacts, and carriers of communicable diseases, right? Who are potentially dangerous to the public. They switched that language from people being high risk, like the CDC shielding. So they took part of the CDC shielding in the beginning, but then they took that out, and now they're saying that people who are potentially dangerous to the public health can be taken away to facilities uh, deemed by the governor, whoever the governor is at that time. Now, New York State wants to remove, like I said, potentially dangerous people. This is New York State. Interestingly enough, the CDC is doing the opposite. They have something called Operation Shielding, or shielding from COVID-19, something to that effect. And this takes high risk individuals to a green zone for their protection. So if you have diabetes, heart disease, cancer, they're going to take you out of the situation and put you in a green zone, which, guys, on paper, the green zone sounds nice. Green zone, right? Doesn't say red zone or black zone or fucking uh, restriction zone. That's some fucking, Operation Black bullshit. But this is green zone. So it sounds gentler for those who are, whatever, high risk. But we have to keep in mind, guys, that the same language is being said in different ways. And we have to keep in mind that it's being said in different ways. Eventually, they're going to come together and say, well, this is what we mean. But again, you don't flip out. Virus with a cause, man. Thank you for the donation. You don't flip out. You look at this and you go, okay, I see what they're doing. That's it. You don't start yelling at the sky. You don't start calling your neighbors up. You don't start running across the street screaming at people. They're putting us in relocation camps. Don't do that. Do not do that. Be easy, play your position, and see what happens next. Obviously, if they're going to take you away to a relocation camp, guys, you know what to do next. I don't have to say it. I don't have to say it in plain English. You know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. If they come to your house to take you away, you know what time it is. So, guys, what New York State, being that we pose a potential threat to the public health, where are they going to remove us to? Are we going to stay home and they're going to quarantine us, or they're going to take us to an internment camp or a facility, like they keep putting it, away from the public, and for how long? These are questions that have not been addressed in the Assembly Bill 416. They're just telling you how they're going to go about it and what's going to be done. Now, the CDC plan, again, is similar, but in the opposite direction, where it is taking high risk patients with immune compromised disorders or just a shitty health and taking them out of the public and putting them in the green zone and keeping them with each other. I'm pretty sure they're not keeping them all with each other because they can give one another COVID. It's the same. Nonetheless, guys, shielding is supposedly, and I hate to defend this, but the shielding operation is supposed to be on a humanitarian scale, right? So when you read it again, guys, it's not actually pertaining to American citizens as it's pertaining to, I don't know, Mexicans crossing the border and trying to escape to the United States for asylum. That's more of a humanitarian scale kind of deal. And that's the language they use. Now, could they flip that script and make it for American citizens? Yes. But what we have in front of us is what they are saying. So this is for humanitarian crisis, like what's going on in Afghanistan. But I don't think the CDC has that kind of pull. I think who takes over in that case when it's international. CDC is just United States or American ground-born shit. So again, guys, you have to take what you're reading and put it in the back of your head. Again, don't flip out, don't panic, don't start fucking screaming and, calling your neighbors in and going all fucking, Alex Jones on yourself or your family rather. Play your position, man. Be easy. Don't fly off the handle. Listen, with everything that's going on, it's easy to fly off the handle. Very easy. You know, I mean, we're being distracted by so much shit. It's insane. So much shit. So with that, guys, we have to be normal. We can't be fucking deranged lunatics about this. If that makes sense. So now again, guys, Bill Assembly Bill 416 and the CDC shielding approach are two different things, but the language is somewhat the same. And again, it's the same in the aspect that they want to take people out of their homes or out of their areas and put them somewhere else. Whether that's an internment camp for the unvaccinated, because that's the language, or they want to put them in the green zone, the heavenly zone for the sick, the weak immune. Now, I found something interesting though in the CDC's plan. I thought it was fairly interesting. Let's see if I can pull it up. See if I want to pull it up. I do not have it on here. I don't have it on here, but it's a PDF you can get from the CDC. And when you pull this up, you just type in CDC Operation Shielding Approach, and it'll come up with the PDF. And you read this thing, and it reads like a manual on how to put people in fucking a separate camp or the green zone, you know, which is the good zone. And I'm pretty sure those people get lattes and fucking milkshakes and things like that in the green zone. And those of us who end up in the internment camps, we get horse shit and fucking tofu. So you choose how you want to look at that. Now, interestingly enough, guys, this whole relocation camp shit, Tennessee has the similar language in a bill, or not a bill, but an executive order called Executive Order Number 83. So this is Tennessee State, guys. Tennessee State uh, temporary quarantine and isolation facilities may be constructed. So that was number 18 in their executive order. It didn't go into depth of, on how to put these people away, how they were going to separate these people. It just mentioned building quarantine and isolation facilities. Again, I thought that was pretty interesting because the language is the same as the CDC in New York, where they're talking about isolating people away from everyone else. Rainy Day, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. So that's something to not, again, guys, not be concerned with, but just watch it, right? Sure. Yes, DeSantis signed something similar. I'm going to get to that in a minute. Again, guys, Tennessee has something called TEMA, right? So I think that's Tennessee Emergency Management. I forgot what the A stood for because it's like FEMA, right? And so they have a COVID response team. If I'm not mistaken, all states have a COVID response team. It depends on how big that response team is and how useful they are. New York City has a COVID response team. New York State has a COVID response team. And I think every state has a COVID response team that reports back to the White House. That's at state level. Local level, towns and cities have COVID response teams, and they report back to the state level, and the state to the federal level, if you will. Now, Sure just mentioned, did DeSantis sign something similar to that? He did. He signed a Florida State Bill 2006. The bill was signed back in May 31st. Governor DeSantis signed the bill stating this. So number 4 on the bill, which is I think was line 179 or something like that, is ordering an individual to be examined, tested, or vaccinated, treated, isolated, or quarantined for communicable diseases that have significant morbidity, and mortality, and present a severe danger to the public health. Individuals who are unable or unwilling to be examined, tested, vaccinated, or treated for reasons of health, religion, and conscience may be subjected to isolation or quarantine. This is in Florida. This is Florida's bill 2006 or 2006, however you want to look at it. Florida State Senate bill, right? Now, 4A reads, examining, testing, vaccination, or treating may be performed by qualified persons authorized by the state health officer. 4B reads, the individual poses a danger to public health. The state health officer may subject the individual to isolation or quarantine. If there is no practical method to isolate or quarantine the individual, the state, or now listen to this, guys, the state health officer may use any means necessary to vaccinate or treat the individual. DeSantis signed this bill. I told a couple people that he signed this bill, and people lost their shit. Like they, it was like watching hope dim in their eyes, guys. With that, people fail to realize, guys, that these politicians are politicians. They're not a fucking white knight. They're not a fucking beacon of hope. They are people who are designed and built to fuck the American people over. That being said, guys, did DeSantis read this whole thing through and sign it? I don't know. If he did and he signed this, guess what? He is part of the fucking machine. And I've said this before, guys. The machine needs to be broken. DeSantis looks like a good guy on the outside, but when you sign something like this and I'm hoping not, but knowingly sign this, you're part of the problem. When you say at 4B, if there's no practical method to isolate or quarantine the individual, the state health officer may use any means necessary to vaccinate or treat the individual, there's a problem. Because now they're treating you against your will. If you have the psychological capacity to say no, you can absolutely turn down being helped. Absolutely. But the fact that they're going against that with this bill means Florida is not the hero we think they were. That simple, guys. You know, a lot of you people are like, oh my God, not my DeSantis, not my shining white knight hope. Oh my God. Yes, DeSantis. Guys, all of them are part of the machine. Trump is part of the machine. Biden, he's running on his own machine in circles. Kamala Harris, part of the machine. Bill Gates, the Amazon asshole, what's his name? Richard Branson, I went into space, all part of the machine. Facebook, YouTube, part of the machine. If you guys are not understanding what they're doing or what is happening, you need to pay closer attention. That's all I can say about that. Now, here's the I don't want to say the bigger issue, but the problematic ideologies that are floating around with this idea, guys. There are other states also pushing something similar to these things where they want to isolate and quarantine those that are infected. When this ideology, which is like cancer, guys, starts spreading, starts catching on, other people start thinking, you know what? Maybe we're going to have to put these people away. Maybe we're going to have to quarantine them. Maybe. You know, and you guys have to stop looking at these politicians as your hope. Trump is not your savior. DeSantis is not your savior. You know who your savior is? You, the American people. We are the motherfuckers that make the shots and call the fucking rules. But yet, we gave all that power to these assholes by sitting there clapping like fucking dumb seals at a fucking rally, going, yes, yes, DeSantis, yes, and like fucking idiots. When instead, they should be fucking praising us and we should be making the fucking moves. We should be fucking fighting back, guys, at all fucking costs. At all costs. When it comes to the Second Amendment, we should be breaking their balls. When it comes to mandations, we should be fighting back. When it comes to anything that a politician is not listening to the people on, we should be fucking overturning those rules. Because this is what America's built on. It was built by us, guys. It wasn't built by a fucking politician who gets his fucking nails done, uh, buys a $500 fucking suit while he's eating steak dinner and watching a stripper fucking dance with a dildo on her right hand or wherever fucking hand she has it in. All right? We are the motherfuckers that control this country, not fucking them. But yet somehow we sat there during Trump's presidency and fucking his re-election campaign, sitting there acting like he was gonna fucking save us. He is not our fucking savior. Trump is part of the problem. DeSantis is part of the problem. They are not the people you think they are, guys. Now I know a lot of you guys are like, you know what, but what about fuck him, fuck Trump, fuck DeSantis. I mean, triply fuck Biden, Kamala Harris could get smacked in the face with a fucking metal dildo. I don't give a fuck about these people. They are not our saviors. We are the people that are gonna save this country. Us, not them. They're gonna go fucking run, guys, and hide in their little hidey holes. While we're fucking out here battling the real shit. When the fucking banks collapse here in the United States, when the housing market fucking crumbles, who's gonna be out here fucking handling this shit? We are. Not fucking them. They're gonna be hiding. So anyway, guys, sorry about that fucking rant, but it pisses me off that we give fucking politicians this oh my god, they're going to save us. They're not going to fucking save us, guys. Not. These fucking people are our enemies. They always will be. I know Trump talked a good game when he was going after big tech companies and fucking, but yo, once you started peddling this bullshit, this crap in our arms, you're part of the fucking problem. Virus with a cause, man. Thank you for the donation, Metal D. All right, so I don't know, guys. It's just frustrating. This country, and I know some people argue with me. Well, you're black. They didn't fight for this country for you. Okay, maybe they fucking didn't. But you know what? Now I'm here and now I'm able to fucking fight. I'm 1,000% sure fucking blacks have fought for this country as well. And damn near every fucking war this country's ever had, people have fought. Black people have fought. So when people tell me, "Oh, you're black, you shouldn't be, sucking a white man's dick," I'm like, whatever, guys, whatever. All I know is that doesn't matter anymore. What fucking matters is we all need to come together and fight this problem. This is a big problem, guys. We're going to see big fucking huge issues in the next couple of weeks, let alone the next couple of fucking months. It's going to get so painfully bad, guys. I will all but understand when people quit and play ball and go online and get the thing in their arms. I understand that. I know people are fucking thinking that because this is going to get hard. People are going to fucking lose their jobs. People are going to fucking get separated from their family because family members are not going to want to talk to each other because they don't want to get the shot in their arm. They don't want to get vaccinated. People are fucking fighting about that now. So never mind in the fucking couple months when the fucking hammer drops. And the hammer's been dropping this whole year. The hammer's really gonna fucking drop when they start going after us in different ways. Guys, they are telling people who are working from home, on their computer at home, that they have to take the vaccination. From home. Why? Again, guys, we need to be fighting. We shouldn't sit there and go, they'll fire me and I'll just take it. No, god damn it. Fucking get a picket sign, grab a couple of the motherfuckers, and protest in front of your job. Every restaurant that tells us we can't go and fucking eat there because we're not playing by the rules, we should be in front of those restaurants with picket signs. One at a time, guys. There's a lot of fucking restaurants out there. But we should be boycotting and picketing these fucking places, guys. We should not be fucking rolling over and going, oh, I got fired. Fuck that. Stand in front of your boss's house and throw fucking bags of shits at his house and protest in front of his house. And they're not like your manager, guys, the boss, the guy that owns the business. You go to his fucking house and you sit there and you fucking throw cow shit at his fucking house. You fucking take Kamala Harris pictures all over it. You wallpaper his house with Kamala Harris photos of her laughing like a horse. You know that stupid horse face laugh that she puts? Wallpaper his house with that bullshit. Start in his office, then wallpaper his house. Guys, the only way this is going to get handled is going to get fucking handled the hard way. And a lot of you know where I'm getting at. I'm pretty sure if Hutch Homestead's in here, he knows exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Because there is no other way that this is going to get handled. No other way. And again, guys, with this ideology, it's spreading. It's getting bad. It's fucking... People are like, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe we should follow through on that. And then what? TGs, if I'm saying that right, they're saying you're going to get locked the fuck up. And then so the fuck what, guys? At some point, you got to fucking stand your ground. And again, standing in front of your boss's house with a picket signs is not going to get you locked up. Maybe wallpapering it with Kamala Harris will, but we have to be super annoying at best with our picketing, with our fucking, with our dismay with this whole situation. We can't just sit here, guys, and just let it be. We can't just throw our hands up in the air. It is unacceptable. Now, I did see a couple of interesting videos of what's going on in Australia, and Australia seems to be fighting back pretty good. You know, I mean, they're not pretty good, but they're boycotting. But the cops, for whatever reason, man, they're on board with this shit. You know? Yeah, listen, guys. Like I said, the this is going to get interesting, and there's no other way but fucking, like, yes, love peace, boycotting. Listen, here's the other thing, guys. Boycotting does work. I have to say, if we stop going to certain restaurants, if you stop going to the restaurants are going to pressure the mayor, and the mayor's going to be like, what? They're not going to your restaurant because what happened? You know what? We're going to have to reverse it and then see where we go from there. If people stop giving in, for example, Second Amendment. Here in New York State, I heard a lot of gun guys complain about, well, our Second Amendments are being stripped away. They're being stripped away because you fucking let it be stripped away. You sat there and watched the fucking government, what's his name, that just got kicked at Cuomo, fucking pick apart our Second Amendment rights here in New York State, sorry. Pick it apart. Because no one fucking wanted to do the hard shit, which is stand in front of his mansion and throw dog shit at his fucking mansion and protest and call him a communist coward and a bastard. None of that shit happened. And I'm talking about his house, not the mansion where he sleeps in. You surround that motherfucker and you give him hell every night. You play loud fucking music. You sit there and you play The View on loudspeaker, so he has to listen to fucking Rosie O'Donnell cackle all night. This is what you do. This is how you get at him. The other shit that I'm talking about, guys, unfortunately, that's going to happen. The fucking knuckle up hard shit is going to happen. But we can make life a living hell for them, like they're making life a living hell for us. We have to be fucking on it, guys. On it. All right? I mean, and if they're making life hard for us because we're unvaccinated and you can't have fun and be a part of society, guess what the fuck we're going to do, guys? We're going to make life hard for them as well. Can't throw us in jail for making noise in front of a restaurant. You can't throw us in jail for fucking making noise in front of the governor's home or the mayor's home. You can't. There's nothing that states otherwise. So, again, guys, and then boycotting, yes, Starbucks, Barnes and Nobles. Tracy Cook, is that true? Starbucks wants you to be vaccinated for service, and Barnes and Nobles. I mean, I don't go to fucking Starbucks anyway. That pretentious fuck place, but that's another place we hit up. You hit those places up, guys. They protested, I think, a Christmas themed cup at Starbucks, and they got it changed. So they gave them another option of a cup, a holiday cup. Sorry, people protested that. This is way more serious than a fucking cup. Again, guys, there's some hard shit we can do before we get to. Before we get to the whole warring part, there's a lot of disruptive shit we can do. I'm talking about just playing a lot of loud music, disrupting their sleep, keeping them up awake at night, and then saying, this is how uncomfortable you're making us feel, you're going to stay up all fucking night. Period, guys. If they start locking us up and arrest us, guess what? The second fucking crew comes out and does the same shit at night. Something has to be organized. Something has to be done. Because we cannot just lay down and take it in the fucking ass. Because that's what most of us are doing. We're fucking sitting there and we're going, you know what, guys? We lost. Let's just take the shot and let's just, go into the fold. Maybe life will be easier if we just comply. We are not going to comply, guys. This country was not built on fucking complying. I'm sorry. We didn't fucking comply to the fucking English and their bullshit. We're not going to comply now to the communist cowards that are running this fucking country. We got fucking Biden taking in 100,000 fucking Afghan refugees. How many of those fucking refugees are Taliban? How many of those fucking refugees are Al Qaeda? Stephen B., thank you for the donation. All right, and here we are taking these motherfuckers in. And people are like, but look what's going on in their country. Now, yes, women and kids I feel bad for. I don't feel bad for the men. The men need to grow a pair of fucking nuts, knuckle up, and get into the fight. So fuck the men. Women and kids I feel bad for. But nonetheless, we don't need 100,000 motherfuckers coming to this country, getting used to this country, getting a little arrogant with the country, and then start fucking telling whatever city they're in or town they're in, they want to change X, Y, Z because it offends them. This is why you don't let this happen. And yes, it sounds xenophobic or racist or whatever the fuck you want to call it. It isn't. The bottom line is we do not need more people from another country coming here down the line telling us how we're going to live our life. Because that's how infections spread, guys. It spreads through refugees. It doesn't spread any other fucking way. If you look at Dearborn, Michigan, look what happened there. Dearborn, Michigan had these people who came here for a better life and then changed the fucking game by kicking people out and telling people you're gonna abide by our rules in this neighborhood. This is the shit that nobody else wants to fucking say because they don't want to be labeled a racist. Well, guess the fuck what? Mr. Racist fucking Charles is here because I had enough of these fucking people peddling these refugees in this country, telling Mexicans, "Oh, poor Mexican, you and your burrito, you can come here and stay in this country." Fuck that. Go back to your country and fucking fight. There are more of you than there are of drug cartel guys. Fucking people in South and Central America could fight like hell and get their fucking city and towns back. But they don't. They run instead of fighting. But again, guys, it's the ideology of the left, the Democrats, even some Republicans that are infecting this country and having us think that the shot is our saving grace. Having us think that fucking, oh, look at the poor refugees in Afghanistan. Let's feel sorry for them. Let's cry a river. Patriot Allen, thank you for the donation, man. Appreciate it. And then, guys, then they want to go after our guns. Now, they've been going after our guns for a very long time. It only gets worse. It doesn't get better. The gun thing is going to be a huge fucking problem in the next 6-7 months. You can't take a country over if you still have its citizens armed. So keep that in the back of your head. Yeah, guys, I don't give a fuck what kind of Afghan you are, or what Mexican or Central American you are. I do not give a fuck. We don't need people coming here and changing our fucking game. On top of that, thank you. The Afghans are not even vaccinated. You know who's not? You know who else is not vaccinated? People in the White House. They haven't taken a shot, according to Paskey or Pisky, whatever that bitch's name is. The CDC, they're not. But yet the president said that more places need to mandate that shit. Guys, problematic ideologies. They need to be dealt with fucking rubber holes in the back, across your back in the winter morning with fucking cold water on it. That's how they need to be dealt with. Some people get that, some people won't. But yo, I mean, enough already with this bullshit. You know, yeah, and again, I'm looking at like, yo, I watch those people on the plane. I watch those people, coming into the airport. I'm like, Taliban members right there. Right there, right there, the guy with the fucking thing on his head, Taliban. You don't think Taliban's not going to play the game and look like a regular dude, shave his beard off, cut his hair short? You don't think they're going to play the fucking game? They absolutely are. But yet, whatever, guys. So, listen, we are at the 40-minute mark, or 39-minute mark, sorry. Hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down, whatever gets you happy. Just hit it quickly before they delete this video. I'm 1,000% sure I'm going to get fucked for this one. But whatever, guys. It doesn't fucking matter at this point. They're changing the game and the rules as they go along. That's just a fact. We are watching things happen before our eyes, and we're like, wait a second. They just told us not to do X, Y, and Z, and they're doing the opposite. The elites. We watched Obama and his party and his, and they didn't have a mask on. Now, to be fair, guys, I get why they didn't have a mask on, and I get, that they're the rich, they're the elites, they're the powerful. They're not going to listen. They don't have to. People are crying and trying to make a comparison. But look at them. They're not wearing a mask. You think anything's going to happen to them by crying about the elites not wearing a mask? No, nothing's going to happen. These people walk on fucking water for the most part. The only way anything is going to happen if we make it happen. But, again, guys, here we are talking about shit that don't matter. Obama's party doesn't fucking matter. It was a distraction. Short-lived distraction, but it was a distraction. We don't fucking need to be distracted by that kind of bullshit. Who gives a fuck if he had a party without a mask on? That's what the fuck they do. We need to be worried about the other shit, like this bill in fucking Florida, Tennessee, which actually got kicked, New York City. And the bill in New York City moved. It's now in committee. So right, it was in the introduction stage when I first learned about it. Now it's in committee. That means it moved up the chain, guys. So some of these bills in different parts of United States, is moving through the chains. So at some point, guys, we're going to have to do some shit. Bottom line, there's no way around it. There's no people. I don't want to do it. We gonna have to. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, City Hall, there's gonna be a giant fucking rally. Um, and obviously I'm gonna go there, and hopefully I get there in time to live stream it. But there's a rally for union only, guys. Not union only, but union representatives. Sorry, right? So it's Wednesday the 25th, 4 p.m. City Hall. Uh, they are basically saying they want to get rid of medical mandates. So this is for every fireman, cop, EMT, police, detectives, postal worker, federal workers, fucking the guy standing on the corner selling hot dogs, all of that shit. Everyone needs to be at this rally, and rallies moving forward throughout the country. We cannot sit here complain about this shit, guys, and don't turn out. And I know I said that protesting don't work, but rallies get recognized, and this rally's been getting bigger. If we keep the edge on them, people are going to fight back. The other thing is, guys, a lot of people in New York City feel like they are distant from one another. They feel like there's no hope at all. But if more people turn out, they'll see that people give a fuck and they're going to turn out. We need to fucking turn out, guys. So, again, guys, I don't know. I just think that we have to do more. We have to either A, strike, boycott, or we have to fight. Because anything else, guys, isn't good. It just isn't good. You know, it's not going to be. It's not going to work in our favor. Anyway, guys, let's move on to another subject. Sorry, I'm looking at these Fs. I'm like, what the fuck is F mean? And then I saw it again. So thank you for that. Thank you for repeating that, Gabriel. F, America, R.I.P. Guys, America isn't dead yet. I know a lot of people are like, yeah, America's dead. Fuck that. Oh, it's over. It ain't over yet, man. It ain't over till it's over. Right? And it's not over yet. There's still a couple of fighting fucking chances, and there's still a few million fighting Americans. So it's not over yet. When we are all gone, locked away, dead, or fucking old, too old to fight, then it's gone. But right now, we still got a fighting chance. The quitter attitude is not needed in this stage of the game. We don't need the fucking America's gone speech. It ain't gone yet. Though old America's never coming back the way we used to live, but nonetheless, America's not dead yet. So, guys, protesting, again, I don't think works so much, but rallies and boycotts will work because you're affecting people's money. And you're also getting people to recognize what's going on and how many people are oblivious to what's going on. There are a lot of people that are oblivious to what's going on, actually. I'm a little surprised that there are people in New York City that don't know half the shit that's going on. Exactly, Teresa. You got to fight. We can't just, again, lay over and take it in the ass, guys. This is not the time to quit. Now's the time to fucking step it into high gear. Um, we shall see. Now, there's one thing, guys, I am not going to talk about on this channel, and I'm going to lay it out there now. There is no talk from anyone on here about fake vaccine passports or IDs. No talk about that. I know that people are starting to talk about it in the chats here and there. I know people mention it in certain videos. Do not talk about it at all. Don't text it to your fucking friends. Don't fucking mention it on Facebook, Instagram. Don't mention it anywhere, guys. Do not. If you're going to mention it to your friend, you better write him a goddamn letter and fucking say, like, pick me, 1, 2, 3. Remember that bullshit that we used to do when we were kids? That's how you're going to communicate to them with that kind of shit. Do not put it in the chats. Do not put it in the comment section below. I don't give a fuck who you know or what you know or how many fucking people you know. Do not speak of it ever on electronics. If you want me or any of us preppers to know about it, guys, you're going to have to mail it to us the old-fashioned way. Okay? So again, don't don't sit there and mention this shit on here, guys. Again, mail it to us. A lot of us have PO boxes. I don't yet, but I'll get one, and you can mail the shit there, whatever the fuck it is. All right. Don't do it on media. Thank you, Northern Girl Hobbies. No media at all. No phones. No text. Don't even talk about it on the phone in code. Do not do it, guys. They are fucking on our shit. So don't. If you could send a trained pigeon, by all fucking means, do so. I would actually be impressed if a pigeon came to my fire escape with a little note on it. I'd be super impressed. But this is where we are, guys. We have to start this old school communication tactics now, not later, not fucking 5 years from now. Now, anything that needs to be said or done cannot be said or done on fucking technology. Can't. Smoke signal is good if you know what you're doing with the smoke signal. I would be impressed with that one too. But guys, whatever. You know, the Wicked Witch of the West on a fucking broom or a pigeon with a letter on its leg. Pick it, but it's got to be old school. Cannot be and live your life. Eat right. I would say code words even when you're writing a letter. Don't do it on text. Nothing on technology. Nothing that can be recorded. All right, guys. So we got a couple minutes left. Let's talk about bug out gears. We are switching gears very fucking hard, but let's talk about bug out gear. Bug out gear right now, it seems to be like an anti-bug out gear movement. I don't understand why, but nonetheless, we're going to talk about certain bags to get, certain bags to test if you have the money to test them, and when to upgrade your bug out gear. Now, I have graded my bug out gear probably 5, 6 times because I had a small military style. Remember those military style stack bags, right, guys? They're probably about this small, but they had like 1,000 pockets in it, and you could put shit all over the place, right? Well, I had that bag. That was my first bug out bag. Then I graduated to a camping bag. Now I have the Evelyn Destroyer and the Evelyn Half Track as my bug out gear. Now, bug out gear, guys, you got to know when to upgrade because listen, when you have bug out gear, you have to practice with it as well. That's the other thing too, guys. White Wolf, what is bug out gear? Bug out gear is gear that allows you to bug out of a situation that went sideways. So, for example, if you lived in Tennessee and I'm sorry, and a hurricane was coming, you get caught in a hurricane, you get caught in a flood, you take your bug out gear and you tread through the fucking water to get to dry land. If there's a fire and you're out west and there's a fire and it's surrounding your home, you get in your car, you throw your bug out gear, and you take that out. Your bug out gear has food, water, supplies that's supposed to last you 3 to 5 days. That's what your bug out gear is, right? Normally has a radio in it to listen to what's going on. It has food, water, money, a shelter, something to keep you warm, change your fucking clothes, toilet paper, toiletries like toothbrushes and things like that. Extra money just in case, you forgot to take money out, you left your wallet. That's a bug out bag. And a first aid kit, right? And a comprehensive first aid and or trauma kit in that bag. Also, you can now put modern technology shit in it, like battery packs or solar chargers that you can hang on the outside of your bag while you're walking, right? So some people, right, call it an emergency bag. Some people call it a get home bag. Some people call it a get out of Dodge bag, right? So they're different terms. But for the lack of a better term, guys, it's called a bug out bag. Everybody knows what a bug out bag means. Some guys want to change the term. It's not a bug out bag. It's a leaving the emergency scene bag. Shut the fuck up, you twat. It's a fucking bug out bag. Fucking people like these new preppers trying to give it a new name. Shut up. It's a fucking bug out bag or get home bag. Maybe an inch bag. But that fucking, trying to label it something new, you're a fucking twat for doing that, So anyway, bug out bags, guys, when you put one together, you need to practice with it. Take the bag and go out to the wilderness, right? Go out to the wilderness and test the bag out. When I mean test the bag out, guys, I don't mean the bag itself. I don't mean take the bag, look at it, and throw it down a fucking hill or some shit. No. Fucking take the bag and have a night or two out with it. and you start living out of the bag for those 2, 3 nights, right? And you start to find out, all right, this is in the bag. I use this, I use that, I use this, but I didn't use X, Y, and Z. And then you take X, Y, and Z out of the bag. You don't you don't put X, Y, and Z back in if you didn't use it. Take it out and see what you do with it the next time. Now, when you're going out on these practice bug out runs, you're going to start noticing that your bag is not up to par. And you're like, oh, this bag sucks, dude. I need a new bag. All right, so then you upgrade. But don't upgrade like I did. I went from a fucking $50 bag to a $250, $400 bag. Don't do that. Bring it back. Dial it back a little bit. And then go up to like 100 and something dollars. And make sure the bag is sturdy. A sturdy bag is very, very, very important. Very important. Because if you have a cheapo Chinese made bag and someone sneezes and then it rains, your bag broke apart. Right? Gabriel H said, "Go Rucks." Yes, Go Rucks are good bags. I like Go Ruck bags. They're not up to my standards, but they are very, very, very tough bags. And you can pack a lot of shit in, especially for a get home bag. But my bug out bag is built for long distance walking or getting out of the fucking city. So that being said, I'm doing a bug out walk in October from New York City to Harriman State Park. So if I can get a couple people with me, that would be cool. But I don't know anybody that wants to walk 32 miles that's never walked 32 miles before. Truth be told, yeah, $400 bag. You're like, that's a lot of money. It is a lot of money, but guess what I did with that bag? Everything under the sun, and it's still standing, right? And I know some bags like Max Edition bags, it's like, 200 bucks, 180 bucks. They're tough bags too, right? What's that? Hill of the People or Hill People Gear, some shit like that. They're pretty good. Um, and there's another one that I'm gonna look up right now that I'm sort of in love with, but their bags are not big enough, and if their bags are too big, it's a dump pack. The Hill People Gear is the name of one of those bags, and the other bag is Mystery Mountain Ranch. Right? Am I saying that right? Mystery Ranch. Sorry, Mystery Ranch. Another set of bug out bags that you can get. 511 is good as well. 511 is very good. Hazard 4 bags are good. But these bags, guys, these are tested bags that have been tested, beaten the shit, tested again, and they work. Now, as far as gear goes, guys, gear inside your bag cannot be cheap. I'm sorry, but some of you cheap fucks need to stop being cheap and fucking splurge a little bit on the bag that's going to get you from point A to point B. Your bug out bag, guys, is your lifeline. Your main lifeline is the amount of skills you know in here, in your brain. That's your survival skills. But if you don't have survival skills, survival knowledge, your bug out bag is your lifeline. If you are versatile in that way where you have survival skills, then your survival skills are your lifeline, and your bug out bag is your backup. That's all it is. Well, it's more like your forefront than your backup because you're going to use that first. But if some gear goes missing, breaks, or you lose it, your survival skills will kick in, and then you're going to be able to fucking perform out in the wilderness, right? So keep that in mind, guys. Your bug out bag is it's sort of your forefront. I can't say backup because it isn't, because you're going to use everything in that bag. But when something breaks, you're going to be like, oh, all right, my ferro rod is gone. I'm going to use a bow drill, right? Or I'm going to use flint and steel. If the sun's still out, I'm going to use a magnifying glass to get a fire started. Now, I have a comprehensive fire kit that allows me to start fires in 4 different ways. Sorry. I have a flint steel, ferro rod, lighter, a Bic lighter, and a magnifying glass. 4 different ways. Uh, the fifth way is my bow drill, which I'm not good at, and I'm still practicing. Been practicing for the last couple of years because I haven't practiced all the time, if that makes sense, right? So, guys, these are things that you skills you need to know. But we're talking about bug out bags. We'll talk about survival skills in the next live stream, probably Friday, if not next week. But survival skills are very, very important, guys. So the first question is time to fix the med bag. Cherokee survival, yeah, you always got to with medical bags. You always have to look through them. I would say probably every 3 months or so, you're gonna look in his bag. Make sure shit didn't dry out. Sometimes your 4x4s, your gauze, sometimes they turn yellow. The pack turns yellow. It's still good. It'll still stop bleeding. but you don't want it to start looking yellow because that means you haven't looked in there in a while. You haven't cycled shit out. So you should be doing your med bags, I would say, every 3 months. Your bug out bag, you should be looking at it every 6 months because you might have gotten fatter. You might have lost weight. You want to change out the clothes in it. If the season changes, you definitely want to change out the clothes in it. Maybe the sleeping bag's too heavy because you have the winter bag in there. Now you want to put the summer bag in there. I have 2 bags packed, one for summer, one for winter. My winter bag I can take in the summertime and deal with it. My summer bag I could take in the wintertime and deal with it as well, in case I grab the wrong one, which they're different bags, so I know which one's which. But if I don't know, the other bag breaks apart or gets stolen, or it's gone, it's missing for some reason, I could deal with each bag and adapt outdoors. I don't need, it doesn't have to be a set winter, summer, but I have winter, summer because of the bags inside. But there's a lot of things I can do. For example, I can also bug out with a haversack. So a haversack, it's hard to explain. It's not hard to explain because I hate putting it this way. But a haversack, guys, is like a man purse, right? It's like a square satchel, right? It has all your survival gear in it. And I put something called a contractor bag inside that bag and I roll up a wool blanket on my back. So the wool blanket's rolled up on my back, and the haversack has all my survival shit in it. I have stayed out in the night with just a haversack, wool blanket, and a contractor bag. And I'm gonna tell you right now, 18 degrees, wool blanket, and contractor bag was the warmest I've ever been. The contractor bag, guys, has to go on the outside of the wool blanket, not on the inside of your skin, because then you'll start sweating. You put it on the outside of the wool blanket, you're going to be the coldest you've ever been. I mean, the warmest you've ever been. Sorry, especially if you have a nice little fire going. What is it? 2 feet in front of you, 3 feet in front of you. You'll be fine, right? So, again, guys, but that's the skill portion. When you have a haversack, the haversack is a skill portion. Yeah, right. It's a cheap fucks. What's your life worth, guys? Again, it's the gear you get is going to get you through it. Don't buy a cheap knife. Don't be a cheap fuck and go to what is it, Bud K's or K Buds and get you a cheap knife on it. Don't do it. That's a bad idea. Those knives are made out of silly putty or fucking aluminum. You have to spend money on a knife. You have to spend money on a nice bag and a sleeping bag. Decent money. Everything else you could probably chintz on, but you can't chintz on a knife. It's like chintzing on a gun or ammo. You don't do it, right? So don't do it with a knife. P to E says skills before gear. Not necessarily true, because most people are not going to acquire that skill until they actually go out and test their bag. Most people don't go and get the skills first. I mean, some people do. Some people do, to be fair. But I think for the easier person to understand it is they get the bag first and they go through all that shit in the bag. And then they test that stuff with the bag. Then you develop the skills. And you start developing the skills too when you go out enough. You start realizing certain things like, oh shit, I could make a fire with a bow drill because I saw it in the video. Let me give it a shot. But for the most part, people don't go skills first. They go gear first. But also, don't. All right, yes, P to E. That's way more sense. More skills, less gear. And P to E is right. The more skills you know, the less you carry. So my bag used to be astronomically heavy when I was a beginner. All right, but now I have enough skills. I carry less shit. That makes sense. Hence the haversack. The haversack is the ultimate, in my book, skill having person. A person that has that much skill can go out in the wilderness, guys, with a haversack or a wilderness belt. I have a wilderness belt. I'm going to try that this November. Just the wilderness belt with my survival gear in it. Go out into the woods with my GoPro and film the night and see if I wake up dead or not. We'll see, right? But that's the ideology, guys. With skills, you need to have the skills. Skills are important. Gear is important too, but gear is more important for beginners. Trust me, because you can learn the skills all you want, but you might not be proficient in that skills, and you're gonna have to rely on your gear. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. All right, guys. So we are at the hour mark. Very good. If you guys do not mind, head over to the Angry Truth channel. I'm gonna start that in about 15 minutes. I gotta get something, water or whatever the fuck. I don't even know where I put it. But anyway, we're gonna start that in about 15 minutes or so. Head over to the Angry Truth channel if you don't mind. Like, subscribe to this channel. Give it a thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever fucking makes you happy. And I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Good night, guys.